Hi, if you're on my page, I'm imagining that you are having trouble sleeping. And so I'm here to share with you some of my evidence-based strategies for breaking the cycle of insomnia. So my name is Dr. Jessica Meers. I am a clinical psychologist specializing in sleep medicine. So I'm here to help you and your family get better sleep. I want to first describe to you how insomnia typically develops. Usually what happens is that we all have some risk factors for insomnia. We all have either genetic risk or certain vulnerabilities. For instance, women are twice as likely to develop insomnia. So we all have underlying risk factors. But usually that's not enough in and of itself to give us insomnia. Usually what happens is that some kind of stress or anxiety pops up in our lives, usually normal day-to-day stress. Sometimes it's a little bit more than that, like an illness or a divorce or some kind of major life event. Regardless though, usually it's something that happens in the short term to disrupt our sleep, maybe for a day or two. But that usually that event and that stressful life event gets better. It resolves over time. And for many of us, our sleep problems that go along with it also resolves. But sometimes sleep problems can linger despite the initial problem resolving. And in most cases, that happens because of how we initially responded to those poor nights of sleep. So I want to give you an example to kind of illustrate that. So let's imagine I have a presentation at work, and in the nights, I'm pretty nervous about it. So the nights leading up to that presentation, I'm having trouble sleeping. And let's say like I have a terrible night's sleep and I can't sleep the night before the big presentation, but I power through, I get through the presentation, I come home and I crash for a couple hours. Well, then I can't sleep that night. Can't fall asleep at my normal bedtime. So I'm up a lot of the nights. I have to get up and go to work the next morning, so I'm exhausted. So I come home and I nap again, or I go to bed early, but I can't fall asleep because it's not my normal time to go to bed early. Or I try to sleep in the next morning. And this cycle can kind of continue where your schedule has gotten disrupted and you can't quite get back onto your normal schedule. In addition, while all that's happening, we can start to form this really negative relationship with the bed because we lay there tossing and turning, feeling stressed, feeling frustrated, and soon the bed becomes associated with the experience of insomnia, that frustration, that stress, and we don't really enjoy and feel peace in bed. And that can cause us to feel more alert and make it even more difficult to fall asleep. And so while oftentimes it makes a lot of sense what we do, like getting into bed early or sleeping in the next morning, in reality, that disruption in our cycle and in our routine can get us out of sync and perpetuate a really negative relationship with the bed. And so it's those things that we want to target. Usually we can't target a stressful life event or it resolves with time. What we want to pay attention to is how we respond after a poor night's sleep. And so the best thing to do is, if you experience a couple nights of bad sleep, is to not panic and actually try to stay as consistent as possible, even if that means that you miss out on some sleep. So try to avoid long naps the following day or getting into bed early, even though you're exhausted, because this can kind of make insomnia worse by disrupting your schedule. Additionally, we don't want to lay in bed awake, feeling frustrated, feeling anxious, feeling stressed, because that is going to increase alertness and make it more difficult to sleep that night, but also train your brain to associate the bed with stress and anxiety and wakefulness and make it harder to sleep in future nights. So if you have a couple bad nights, don't panic, just get back to your regular schedule. If you're noticing that you can't fall back asleep or that you are having trouble falling asleep at the beginning of the night, Lay in bed for 20 minutes, and if sleep isn't happening, get up and go do something else, and wait till you feel sleepy again before getting back into bed. There's no sense laying in bed, tossing and turning, and feeling frustrated. It's not likely to bring on sleep. It's going to be kind of doing the opposite. So go watch a TV show, go read a book, do something that you enjoy. Don't lay in bed feeling stressed. We also want to think about things, obviously, like caffeine use and not doing it too late in the day. That seems like a no-brainer. But alcohol is another thing that if you drink it too close to bedtime, it can disrupt your sleep in later parts of the night and make you more likely to wake up and have difficulty falling asleep. If you try these things and you still are having trouble sleeping on a regular basis, it might be time to call somebody to get some professional help. So the strategy I like to use is cognitive behavioral therapy for insomnia. It is a research-backed treatment that is proven to work kind of with all different people, all different age ranges, to eliminate insomnia without the use of medications. And it's a highly, highly effective treatment. So if you are finding that you can't beat insomnia, I would encourage you to reach out to somebody like me and get some professional help. I know it can be difficult when you feel like you're in this hamster wheel of insomnia and you're feeling like it's a never-ending cycle. You can break the cycle. It is possible. And if you feel like you try these things and it's not working, give me a call. I'm happy to help you out. All right, take care.